Good morning. Are you Samantha Megan Coomer?
Yes.
You're charged with resisting obstructing a police officer. We get lots of these. It used to be a misdemeanor, but now it's a high court misdemeanor. It's punishable by, well, it used to be a high court misdemeanor, now it's a felony. Up to two.
Did you catch that shift? This charge used to be a high court misdemeanor, now it's a felony. That's a major escalation. Why? Because resisting an officer isn't just a bad decision, it's a public safety risk. The court's not playing around with that anymore.
2 years. Let's go. Look at this. The actual complaint. And a fine of up to $2,000. It's alleged that on June 21st that you did batter, wound, resist, oppose, obstruct, or endanger Matthew Borman, an officer with the Sturgis Police Department. Mr. Joshua Robert is the Chief Assistant Prosecutor, and he's here today. Mr. Robert, what's the plea offer here?
The offer is for the defendant to plead to it.
This is textbook courtroom strategy, the no contest plea. It's a way of saying, I'm not admitting guilt, but I'm not fighting it either. Why do defendants use it? Sometimes it's to avoid admitting things they genuinely don't remember, like when you're blackout drunk.
Temper, no.
That's correct, Your Honor. It will be a no contest plea due to intoxication and no recollection.
I have no objection to that.
All right, Ms. Coomer. And also Mr. Ottinger or anybody else who's here for a plea. Do you understand that if you plead guilty to this charge, you'll be giving up your right to have a trial in front of a judge or jury? There will be no trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you had a trial, you'd have the right to be represented by an attorney. Ms. Yancey is here with you. You could also hire an attorney of your own choosing if you wished. If you had a trial, you'd have a right to have any of the witnesses for or against you subpoenaed to come to court so they could be questioned under oath. You would have the right to take the witness stand and testify on your own behalf. But you don't have to, because you have a right not to testify. And if you did not wish to testify, the judge or jury could not hold your silence against you. And you have the right to be presumed innocent unless the state was able to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand?
I understand.
All right, well, let's talk about no contest. People have some confusing ideas about no contest or questions about how it works. By pleading no contest, you don't admit what happened, but you also don't deny what happened. And you would allow or accept that a conviction would enter. And so you'll be convicted. I'll get the factual basis from a bond report or an affidavit or something.
Spiced rum at 2 p.m. on a Saturday. That's not brunch behavior, that's a cry for help. And it sets the stage for everything that followed, shouting slurs, throwing bottles, and ultimately, fighting with police. It's a spiral, and we're watching it unfold in real time.
One of the reasons for no contest is you don't have a clear memory of what happened. I can't say I didn't do it because I don't remember. Had you been drinking that night?
Yes, Your Honor.
0.211. That'll do it. What were you drinking?
Spiced rum.
All right. This is a little confusing here, but it starts out at 2:29 in the afternoon on June 12th. June 12th was a Thursday.
June 21st, June.
Yeah, June 21st. I'm sorry. Transposed the numbers. June 21st is a Saturday. That makes more sense. I arrived at the complex when I heard a female yelling and singing racial slurs. She didn't like that because of her and her husband and daughter are African American. Female sitting in front of the apartment 207, they asked her to stop. They were walking back up the stairs and the female threw an empty bottle of liquor at her. Then the cops came and they talked to you, Samantha Megan Coomer. The third time I made contact with Samantha today. So that's not good. Samantha was visibly intoxicated and speaking to members of the fire department. She said she didn't want to go to the hospital. She continued to be loud and screaming to the point that other people in the apartment complex were coming out to see what was going on. At that point, I told Officer Boyd we were going to take her into custody for disorderly conduct.
Physical resistance while cuffed, that's aggravating conduct. Courts see it as both a safety issue and a sign the person is out of control. Combine that with intoxication, and you're basically writing the prosecution's closing argument for them.
I handcuffed Samantha. She was sitting down, told her to stand up. She refused to stand, but eventually got to her feet. And Deputy Wired and Officer Wired and I then escorted Samantha down the hall to the staircase. She started moving very fast. She started to pull me. I told her to stop. I was beginning to lose my balance. Once we reached the bottom of the stairs, Samantha charged me and ran her body into me. And then I pushed her onto the wall and took her down to the ground. She continued to struggle and refused to get back on her feet. Then she was a .211. We took you to the jail. See how long you were in jail. You got arrested on June 21st. You posted bond on June 26th. So you've been in jail for 5 days. It says here you work at Stryker Corporation.
No,
That's what the booking sheet says. Employer Stryker. Where do you work?
I don't right now.
Where did you last work?
Sorry, I was trying to remember the corporate name, but the Acres place in Leonidas.
She was in home health care,
Yeah.
like the adult
Okay.
foster home.
Your arm is in a sling. Is that a result of this?
Yes.
She does presently reside in Ionia, Michigan. She is also addressing her substance use as far as alcohol and is attending AA meetings multiple times a week up in Ionia, Michigan, where she's got a strong support group.
No. I don't have a criminal history in here. Are you on probation or parole?
No.
She reports to me that her only criminal history is traffic offenses. So
What was going on? Why you're so lit up in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday?
Drinking to deal with feelings. We were going to the lake, but things changed.
Yeah, that's actually not a very good solution to the question. Mr. O'Bear, what's your thought here?
In the criminal history we have, we show an arrest for domestic violence in Las Vegas in 2019 and a 2024 case for MDOP that was dismissed. She was extremely drunk. She was assaulted towards law enforcement. I think that warrants additional jail time. I'd ask the court to impose a 14-day sentence.
yeah, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. As I indicated, Ms. Coomer does live in Ionia, Michigan, so she is significantly.
The judge is clearly done here. Between racial slurs, unpaid tickets, and being a pain in the neck to the local PD, she's worn out the court's patience. And when a judge says, maybe it's good you're leaving the area, that's about as polite as get lost gets.
Out of county at this time. She's staying with friends while she works to get back on her feet. As the court can see, she does have a physical injury she's dealing with, so she's unable to work at this time. She reports to me that she has interest in getting back into home health care if possible. Obviously, this conviction could create a hiccup there. However, she did serve 5 days. She doesn't have any significant criminal history. Ms. Rivera did cite arrests, but those either resulted in dismissals or no further action. So I'd ask for time served, fines, and costs, and let Ms. Coomer return to Ionia. My understanding, she was in the area because she was staying with family and Sturgis, her father, and he also has a significant substance abuse history and just not a good combination, but she's removed herself from that situation, and I don't anticipate the court will see her again.
So that would be good. There's also the racial component of this. You're trash talking some people because their skin is brown, which started all this. That offends my sensibilities. They've been there 3 times that day to deal with you. You have an unpaid ticket for leaving the scene of a property damage accident. Pled no contest in April of 2024. Those are sometimes drunk driving cases that got away. You paid $20, and that I don't believe you ever paid any more. We haven't seen anything since May of 24. So you have outstanding fines. You haven't paid. You were a giant pain in the neck to the Sturgis Police Department. You were racially embarrassing these other folks. And you want to just go away, which may be good.
And there it is. 10 days in jail, with credit for 5 already served. But here's the kicker: can't pay the $165. Then it's 3 more days behind bars. This is called pay or stay sentencing, and it's controversial. Critics say it criminalizes poverty, but courts say it's about accountability.
I don't think this is a probation case, and if you do live in Ionia, maybe that's a good fit. I think I have $100 of bond. Yes, I do. All right, there's a 0 fine, $75 crime victims' rights fee, $50 state minimum fee, and $150 attorney fee. That's $275. I have $90 of bond. The court keeps 95 or 10% of a 10% bond. You owe $165. Or 3 days in jail. I'm not going to chase you for it. I'm going to order 10 days in jail, credit 5, leaving 5 days to serve, which you're going to start right now. This is a consequence of that drunken Saturday afternoon and not paying your previous court fines. So you can go to the court officers. If you have a pet, do you have pets? Is there someone there to take care of them? All right, you can go with a court officer. Let me give you the envelope. Somebody got to bring you $165, so you got to do 3 more days. 86. All right. Now I'm going to wipe out that unpaid ticket with 5 days jail, so you won't owe any money on that ticket.
It's all over the shoulder. In the front?
Yes.